You know, every single number you use, every calculation your phone makes, it all rests on a foundation you were probably never taught about in school. Today, we're digging into the hidden history of modern math and asking, why on earth was it forgotten?
Just let that sink in for a moment. The code that's running the device you're watching this on, the numbers in your bank account, the basic arithmetic you do in your head, it all depends on breakthroughs from ancient India. And yet, the story we're all told gives the credit almost entirely to the Greeks.
And that's the big question here, isn't it? If these contributions are so completely fundamental to our modern world, how did they just get lost? How does an entire civilization's foundational work get written out of the story we tell ourselves?
So, first things first, let's break down exactly what we're talking about. This isn't some dusty, abstract theory. This is the actual bedrock of the math you literally use every single day. And these ideas weren't just random flashes of brilliance either. They were part of a long, incredibly sophisticated mathematical tradition that was thriving for centuries. Just look at this timeline. We see a continuous flow of really advanced thinking. Back in the 3rd century, you've got manuscripts showing complex algebra. By the 5th, a mathematician named Aryabhata is developing trigonometry and this thing called place value notation. We'll get to that. And then in 628 CE, Brahmagupta codifies the rules for something that would change the world, the number 0. And this is a really crucial distinction. See, other cultures had a symbol for nothing, kind of like a placeholder. But Brahmagupta was the one who said, no, 0 is a number in its own right. It's a number with its own rules for how you add it, subtract it, and multiply it. That conceptual leap was absolutely massive. And then there's positional notation. You take this for granted, we all do. It's the simple reason why the 2 in 25 means 20, but the 2 in 52 just means 2. It sounds so obvious to us now, but Aryabhata's system is what made doing complex math with big numbers even possible. It was a total game changer. So here's the magic. When you put positional notation together with the idea of 0 as a real number, what do you get? You get the decimal system, the elegant, super powerful base 10 system that is basically the operating system for our entire numerical world. This whole package was India's incredible gift to mathematics. Which, of course, brings us right back to our mystery. We've just talked about 3 of the most important mathematical inventions in all of human history. So why? Why is it that when we think of ancient math, our brains immediately jump to Pythagoras and Euclid? What happened? It all boils down to this one simple, powerful question. History isn't just a list of facts that fell out of the sky. It's a story. And for a very long time, only a very specific group of people were holding the pen.
Yeah, this wasn't an accident. The fact that India's contributions got sidelined was a direct result of some very specific historical forces and, well, biases. Let's actually break down how it went down.
The source points to 3 main culprits. First, you've got colonial historiography. Basically, European historians writing history in a way that centered their own continent's achievements. Make sense, in a way? Second, a huge language barrier. These incredible texts were in Sanskrit, and for centuries, most Western scholars couldn't read them. And third, you have the myth of the Renaissance, this neat, tidy story that Europe just rediscovered Greek genius after the so-called Dark Ages, which completely ignores the fact that India and the Islamic world were the ones who preserved, translated, and built upon that knowledge in the meantime. And this chart just lays it out perfectly. On the left, that's the simple story we often get in the classroom. Greece, then a big empty gap, then the European Renaissance. Boom. But the reality, on the right, is so much richer and more interesting. Knowledge flows from India, it's advanced and preserved during the Islamic Golden Age, and then it flows into Europe, helping to spark the Renaissance. It's a global story, not just a European one. You know, this whole thing is about so much more than just correcting a few pages in a history book. If we got the story of our own numbers, the very language of science, this wrong, it makes you wonder, what else have we missed? The source uses this fantastic phrase, epistemological impoverishment. It sounds complicated, but it just means we've made ourselves poorer in knowledge. By focusing on just one single Eurocentric story of progress, we've basically deprived ourselves of countless other ways of thinking and solving problems. And so this is the question we're left with. This isn't just about giving credit where it's due. It's about realizing our understanding of human knowledge is, well, it's incomplete. What other amazing ideas, what other brilliant innovations are still buried in texts all over the world, simply because we've only been looking in one direction?